Hey, hi everyone. In this session, we will discuss while loop in Python and also we will cover break statement in Python. So let's get started. As we can see, this is Visual Studio Code and here I will be explaining while loop in Python. So you can think of while loop as if there is a certain condition, if that is true, then some task will happen, right? And when that condition becomes false, that task will not happen anymore. Okay, so let me explain with an example. So let's say I have a variable I whose value is 1. Okay, now what we can do, we can use while loop. So if you type while, right, so we will see this keyword while, and after the while you can write some condition, right? So condition is something like, let's say I want to do some operations when I is less than 6 followed by colon, and here what I can do, I can print the value of I. Fair enough. Now I is 1 and I is less than 6, which means this condition is true and I will be printed. And what I will do, I will keep on incrementing the value of I with 1. So to increment the value of I with 1, we can use I is equal to I plus 1. Pretty simple. So let's run the program and see what the output we are getting. Here we go, we can see the value as 1 2 3 4 5, right? And when I is less than 6, right, so at 5 this condition is true, and imagine I, the value of I is 5, and then again it is getting incremented by 1, so I becomes 6. And then while we'll check, is 6 less than 6? False. And that is the exit condition. Our loop terminates at that very point, right? So let me read it again. So here the idea is, while I is less than 6, I'm printing these 5 numbers. Let's say for some reason I want to print only 1 2 3, and this condition I cannot change while I less than 6. So what should be the solution in that case, right? Which means if we want to forcefully exit from the while loop, right, in that case we can use break statement. So what I can do, so I'm printing I, and what I'll do, if I can put one condition, if I is equal to, if I double equal to, double is the comparison operator, so if I double equal to 4, which means whenever I becomes 4, use the break statement, right? So this is my exit condition, this is my break statement. If whenever I becomes 4, I will break out of this while loop. So let's see and see the output now. I can see I wanted to print 1 2 3 4, sorry, I wanted to print 1 2 3, but 1 2 3 4 is getting printed, which means when I is equal to 4, after that I'm doing break statement. So what I can do, if I is double equal to 3, then I should exit if I want to print the numbers 1 2 3, and as you can see here, this number is getting printed. So this is pretty simple example. The idea of while loop is we have to put some condition over here, which means let me write in a comment fashion. So what I'm trying to explain is while, and here we write some condition. Condition could be any number less than something, any number greater than something. We can compare two things. So here it has to be some boolean things. Boolean means it should return true or false, right? So we will put some condition and we can use colon, right? And here we can write some logic. Let me put comment, and below that some logic we can write. And once that logic is, that some logic will keep on executing unless this condition is true. When this condition becomes false, this logic will not happen. And in our example, the logic was printing of I variable. And when some logic is happening within while loop, and based on some third condition, based on some other different condition, if we want to forcefully exit the loop, right, if we want to come out of the while loop, then we can use break statement. Right? So that's what I wanted to cover in this session today. So this was the agenda, like while loop in Python and break statement. And I hope you have understood what is while loop and how can we use while loop, and the different scenarios in which we can use while loop. The thing which should be the key takeaway of this session is we should write some break condition always, some exit condition, otherwise infinite loop may occur, right? So just be careful and mindful whenever you are writing while loop. Always make sure you are having some incremental logic, you are incrementing something so that this condition becomes false after a point. And or you can use some exit condition with some if statement and using break statement. So whenever you are writing while loop, just make sure you have exit condition ready, otherwise infinite loop may occur and that may cause problem. With that, I would like to conclude today's session, and thank you so much. Bye bye.